Hey, what's up? I'm John Z from Spliff Breaks. Let's start that thing.
Sorry, some guy's like,
Hey, what's up? This is John Z from SpliffBreaks.com, and I'm chilling with none other than Longwalkshortdock.
Hello.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Very well, thank you. Good to see you.
You handling the heat out here okay?
It's just getting to that perfect level for me right now.
Nice. We're at Bass Coast Music Festival, and the theme of Bass Coast this year is Mutiny.
That is correct.
Your name itself is kind of mutinous when you think about it.
I suppose so. You know, I hadn't really made that connection until just now, but I suppose it is.
It reminds me of walking off a plank on a pirate ship.
That's true, but it doesn't have the rhyme shtick, so I couldn't use plank. A lot of people ask me, like, why didn't you use pier? Is this not like the rhyme shtick?
Longwalk short pier?
Yeah, it's not as... yeah.
When things something sticks, something sticks. Why do you call yourself that? Where did that come from?
It's from a really old song I wrote on guitar ages ago about like this character that has very ironically hilarious bad luck, which at the time was the theme of my life. So something funny
It's a
or
blues song.
Well, yeah, exactly. Something would happen that would, you know, cause me adversity, and it would be in such a way that the people around me would think it was hilarious, but to me it was like, oh! So it kind of came from that, and I needed a name for a show, and I did it, and then it just stuck. You pick a stupid name right at the beginning of your career, and you're stuck with it the whole way through.
That's good. Sometimes it's meant to be that way, you know? When you first heard that the theme of Bass Coast this year was going to be Mutiny, what popped into your mind? Like, what were you thinking about?
I was actually really excited to see what they do with the decor, and
as you can see,
nailed it.
Yeah.
Because that's one of my favorite things about the festival is they really go above and beyond with their stage concepts and stage designs, and they really outdid themselves this year.
I can't wait to see you up there jamming.
I can't wait to go up there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's gonna be good.
I'm very excited.
You should have got a Longwalkshortdock.
Maybe we could build a plank or something and jump off it.
Do you have any? Do you have any special tricks or costumes or anything that's gonna pop off?
I do have a costume I'm going to attempt to wear during the show. I'm breaking my cardinal rule of not practicing in the costume before doing it.
Okay.
Sometimes you do that, you get 5 minutes in, you're like, wow, I didn't realize it would be this difficult to play in this.
Your live show could be considered like a fight against the status quo in and of itself, because you take what may be considered the average quaint DJ performance, you crumple that up into a little ball, and you slam dunk the shit out of that motherfucker. If there's anybody who performs like a flailing, ravenous pirate up on stage, it's Longwalkshortdock.
Well, I take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. Talk about that energy that you bring to the live show, because it really draws people right into the show.
That was kind of more of a nervous reaction when I started. I was kind of scared about playing, and I found it was easier to diffuse that internally if I just kind of got really caught up in it, you know, and it was more to kind of make me feel more comfortable than to kind of bring people in, but it had that very fortunate kind of supplementary outcome, which is great, you know. A lot of people have come up and said, you know, like, I really didn't like your music, but your show was great.
Oh, really? That's bold.
Like, that's okay. if you could still watch the show, even though, you know, you weren't necessarily into the tunes, that still says something to me.
These robots may strike at any time. And when they grab you with those metal claws, you can't break free. Because they're made of metal. Robots are strong.
I'm glad that people kind of get something out of it as well. It tends to be a symbiotic relationship if people are really enjoying it, and that's great too. I mean, if I can get really caught up at a show and get involved with the performers, I usually walk away with a bigger smile on my face. So I try to bring that to as much of the work that I do as possible. And I don't know, I really love performing music and getting to share music that I spent a long time, sitting in a room by yourself writing all this stuff, and you're like, I can't wait to show it to people.
Yeah,
so
here comes this creative explosion.
There's a bit of that too, right? You get excited to finally get to share it with people. So.
Have you ever seriously kinked or hurt your neck from headbanging so much?
Yeah, there's a lot of injury stories. Nothing super brutal. So far, so good.
Never seen you perform with a neck brace on or anything?
No, but I don't know. I'm getting on in years. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep this up.
Just out of curiosity, in the early rave and club days, were you ever the kind of guy who was tucked away in the DJ booth playing records for people? And if so, at what point did you realize that that just was not cutting it?
I've never actually played records. If you have a turntable set up, I can show you how horrible I am.
Oh, really? Yeah.
It's pretty funny. I have a lot of talented friends that are good at that, so I let them field that one. But I always enjoyed working with synths and beatboxes and computers and sequencers and stuff, and I wanted to do it in such a way that I could take that skill set and make it into the show, rather than learn an entirely different new skill set and combine it with the two. I'd rather have more stuff to do. If I'm doing a show and I haven't hit a button or tweaked something or said something or played a keyboard riff or patched in an effect or something like that, then I feel like it's not as entertaining as it could be.
Yeah. You're not just showing
I want to be doing something all the time.
Yeah. Addition of live visuals is also something that's a common staple in DJ and producer sets nowadays. It's almost weird to go to a club or to a festival like this and not see live visuals incorporated.
Yeah, the culture is really constantly one-upping itself, and it's ultimately better for everyone. It's just more crazy looking stages and concepts and technology are being created in audio and video actually. So every year you go to a festival, you're going to get a new degree of technology in your eyes and ears, which is just fantastic.
Are you hands-on with the visuals? Do you kind of have
I do my own lights, and when I tour and do club shows, I tour the guy named Rim Visuals. He's out on the east side right now. I just did the eastern part of Canada with him, and that's a pretty overkill 10 projector setup of mayhem.
Oh, wow.
So we have 3 for the backdrop, and then 4 that shoot through haze into the audience, that shoots shapes and kind of pulses and stuff.
Cool.
And then another 3 or 4 depending on the setup on me and the equipment. So there's a lot of light getting thrown around, and it's all getting time code triggered via MIDI from my machine, so everything happens in sync. So
sick.
It's quite overkill.
Oh,
we
nice.
like that word.
Yes. And another fun element that you bring to these festivals is the costumes.
Yes.
Of course, you mentioned that earlier.
I hope tonight is going to be good. I haven't got it all together yet. I have to pick up the other part with my friend here.
And it's not just on stage, but also just seeing you mingle around. You like to wear the costumes at the festivals like that.
Yeah, it's the kind of stuff you wish you could get away with walking down to the grocery store in, but it's more difficult to get away with in the city. Here, you almost feel silly if you don't have something
on, Well, just some standout ones that I've seen you perform in are a ballerina, an astronaut, Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a good one. A big winged bat dragon thing. I don't know if it had.
Oh yeah, I did the demon thing. Yeah, that was kind of a Final Fantasy 1 chaos nod. But
okay. The list goes on. Do you have any favorite or memorable stories from costumes that you've worn? Anything that stands out, some pretty crazy stories?
More about what we were talking about earlier is where you put it on at home and you're like, wow, this looks great. It's gonna be killer. And you get there and you realize I can't see out of this at all. 30 seconds into the show, it's like I might have bit off more than I can chew here. I have no idea how to play the rest of the show in this, but we're already in the situation, so I guess
you just gotta
deal.
wing it. Yeah.
So yeah, more so stuff like that. Playing in the wizard costume with the full face covering thing with the glowing eyes, that was very difficult to see out of.
Yeah. So you keep it on just for as long as you can handle it.
Yeah, I tried to wear it a bunch last year, and I got about 2 or 3 minutes in. I was like, okay, I can't do this. That might happen.
Well, we enjoy it as a crowd. We love what you put through. You're creative not just in music, but also with the costume designs that you do. So it really translates well to us.
I'm glad that people get a kick out of it. I sure get a kick out of coming up with the ideas. So.
Had your fill of the mask and hat, because I'm tired of pretending I can see and or breathe out of them.
Well, thanks a lot for your time tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing you crush this set out here at Bass Coast.
I'm looking very much forward to it. Thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me.
Really appreciate that, man. Have a great night tonight, eh?
Thank you. You too.
All right, cheers.
Thanks,
John
guys.
Z, Longwalkshortdock. We out here at Bass Coast 2014. Blah.
Bass Coast has always been the perfect place to try your weird experimental art. My art is music. Thank you very much for letting me try some of this weird shit. My name is Longwalkshortdock from Vancouver. I got one more for y'all.